Alright guys, this one's going to be doing another video today, this one's going to be doing another video for today, this one's going to be doing another video for Dexter Resurrection. We're going to be talking about the New York Ripper. This is kind of a part 2 to yesterday's discussion video that we had for the New York Ripper. We have even more evidence to justify what is potentially already the reveal of the New York Ripper, and one that fans have been talking about for a good while.
I just got back from New York. What's everyone yelling at me about?
I was kind of unaware of this, and as soon as I posted yesterday's video, I kind of got my answer on the New York Ripper kind of inadvertently, and I was just like, what? You know, like, I was like, huh? How does that make any sense? You know what I'm saying? And, as I'm sure you can tell, I am definitely not up for this at all. But people have had this, come out. Dexter fans are crazy, man. I tell you what, y'all are insane. Apparently, people have slowed down the video that Claudette played in episode 7 and have tried to break down the voice of the New York Ripper. And apparently, people have come to the conclusion that when you slow the voice down, it sounds like no other than Jonah Mitchell, which is Arthur Mitchell, the Trinity Killer's son, which makes absolutely no sense. But apparently, Arthur Mitchell's son, Jonah Mitchell, is the voice that you can make out if you slow down the voice enough. Apparently, people have done that. And I remember when I heard that, I was like, that's just people saying what they want to say, you know what I mean? Like, anybody could say that, you know what I mean? Oh, yeah, that's Jonah's voice, you know? And I was like, sure it is, you know what I mean? Like, I need more proof than that. Well... The actor has been posting a lot lately, and people have looked into it, obviously, because the theory spreads, and apparently the actor for Jonah has been filming a secret project recently over the last few months, a secret, undisclosed project in New York City. And apparently he's also acknowledged the New York Ripper theories, and he said, I can't deny that or confirm it, I guess we'll just have to see. So when you line all that up, it's starting to... Because, you know, obviously actors like to mess around, you know what I'm saying? Actors like to play into theories, you know what I mean? So maybe he's sitting there like, hey, like, you know... But thing is, if he's filming a project in New York that he can't tell people what it is, what else is filming in New York? It's funny that the fans also break down that his voice is the one that's similar, that it sounds like it's his voice, you know, on the video that Claudette is playing. And then obviously you see the actor, you see the way he's kind of discussing the idea. I think the Dexter fans kind of cracked the case on this one, which... The New York Ripper, I mean, apparently Claudette's been dealing with this since she was, like, new to, you know, the force. And Claudette's not necessarily a young woman, so that doesn't add up too much for me. Because, I mean, how young would, you know, Jonah have had to been to be in the New York Ripper? You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, he was never a killer when Arthur Mitchell was around, you know what I mean? He always hated his father because of him being a killer and him being an abuser and this and that. So I don't necessarily understand why he would be the New York Ripper. You know, unless maybe he stole the, you know, identity from the New York Ripper and he's going around acting like he's the New York Ripper because he's a fan. I guess that could be something, but it just doesn't add up, you know what I mean? Like, he turned on his father, he worked with Dexter to take his father down because of how much he hated who his father was and what he, you know, did and everything, and it just doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense whatsoever. I've heard a lot of people say they're excited about the idea of Jonah returning, and I'm like, guys, honestly, listen, I love Dexter Resurrection. I do. I love the show. It's been incredible. And honestly, it's been a fantastic series with really great writing, so I do not knock it whatsoever. But the one thing I have definitely noticed about this series, and I think a lot of people could probably agree with me on this, it's definitely a fan service show, and especially if you do this. Because, again, why do you need Jonah Mitchell back on your show unless it's to try to get that hype of Trinity back in your show? You know what I'm saying? And I hope that's not why they're doing this, because I'm honestly getting the feeling that this will be a Jonah reveal. I do think this New York Ripper could be. I much more preferred my theories that I went over yesterday with Blessing. I think that would be a more interesting kind of twist to it. But it sounds like it's probably going to be Jonah, which I just... Listen, it's not confirmed yet, so obviously we can't say 100%, but I will say this. I am not exactly open to that idea. I'm going to be honest. I think it's a really random, fan-servicey, let's bring the Trinity Killer charisma back type of thing, and it's not exciting at all. You know, he's never going to be his father. The Trinity Killer is way better, and I don't see the need to bring Jonah back as a villain. I don't see the need to bring him back as the New York Ripper. You know what I mean? And I don't put it past them because they brought Jonah back when he was perfectly concluded in Season 4. They brought him back in Season 6, and Scott Buck brought him back. And Scott Buck is also involved in Dexter Resurrection, which I'll never understand why Scott Buck is involved in Dexter Resurrection, because the guy cannot write for crap. No offense to him, he cannot write for crap. Clyde Phillips is why Dexter's good. Every time Scott Buck even touches any of the Dexter projects, it goes completely south.
Fuck no.
Bringing Trinity Killer's son back as a villain, as the New York Ripper, would honestly plot hole so much of the plot they have going on, it would not even be funny. Not to mention, I really don't want that character back. I think the character concluded perfectly fine. If you're going to bring characters back into the fold, how about you bring back, you know, Aster and Cody? Actual, you know, characters that should come back, you know? How about you bring back Lumen? You know, they've talked about Lumen many times. How about you bring back certain characters like this that actually matter to the plot? You know what I'm saying? Jonah being the New York Ripper is not a good idea. I'm telling you right now, it is not a good idea at all. So that's kind of my opinions on it. Obviously, I wanted to share my thoughts on it. I do not like the idea of Jonah being the New York Ripper. I don't think it's a good idea. I hope they don't go for it. Admittedly, I think that would be a horrible idea. But again, we'll have to kind of just sit down and kind of see what ends up happening here. So, let me know your thoughts. Post your comments down below, guys. Do you think there's any credibility to this? Unfortunately, with all the evidence pointing towards it, I unfortunately do. Yes. But do you like the idea? Do you dislike the idea? Let me know where you kind of sit on it. And do you think that Dexter Resurrection is going a little bit too fan servicey with a decision like this? Because I do think Dexter Resurrection, as great of a show as it is trying too hard to do fan service, and I'm definitely starting to notice it. So that's kind of just my opinions on that. Let me know your thoughts, post your comments, and if you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this, make sure to click subscribe once you don't miss any of the videos. Make sure to follow me on Dan's Reviews Official on Instagram, guys, and of course, I'll see you guys really soon for more videos for Dexter Resurrection. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.
Born in the dark alleys, city of concrete. Dan's reviews blowing up, never taste defeat. Walking Dead dissected every plot twist beat. World gone mad, TV junkies hit a treat. Typing up scripts, marathon through the night. His opinions hit harder than a street fight scene. Every episode, brain sharper than a knife. He's the beacon of critique, shedding TV light.